Have you ever wondered if your daily routine is truly enough to keep you healthy and strong as you age? If you've relied on walking as your go-to exercise but are starting to feel aches, fatigue, or even fear of losing your balance, you're not alone. Like Mary, many of us face changes in our bodies as we grow older that make us question whether we need to do more to stay active and independent. In this video, I'll share Mary's inspiring story of transformation. How she turned fear into strength, regained her balance, and rediscovered energy she hadn't felt in years. We'll uncover the 2 simple but life-changing activities that helped her achieve this and why they could work for you, too. Stay with me until the end because I'll share practical tips and easy steps you can take to incorporate these activities into your routine, ensuring that you stay strong, steady, and vibrant in your golden years. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. Mary is a vibrant 72-year-old woman who has always cherished the peaceful, grounding ritual of her morning walks. For decades, her day began with a brisk stroll through the neighborhood, where she could breathe in the fresh morning air and listen to the soothing sounds of birds chirping in the trees. These walks had become a vital part of her routine, not just as a way to stay physically active, but also as a mental reset. The rhythm of her footsteps allowed her to clear her mind and embrace the calmness that the early hours of the day offered. Walking had always been her simple, go-to exercise, something she could rely on to maintain both her physical health and her sense of well-being. However, recently, she noticed some subtle but unsettling changes. Her once familiar walks, which had always been effortless, were starting to leave her with aches and discomfort. Her knees, which had carried her through countless miles, began to hurt more frequently, especially after longer walks. There were moments when she felt a bit unsteady, particularly on uneven pavement or slightly rough terrain. The fatigue that followed her walks also seemed to linger longer than it used to, leaving her feeling more drained than she remembered. One morning, during her usual walk, something unexpected happened that shook her confidence. As she walked along the sidewalk, she tripped on a crack. Fortunately, she caught herself before falling, but the scare lingered in her mind. What if I had fallen? She wondered. Would I have been able to get back up? The thought of potentially not being able to recover from a fall left her feeling uneasy. It made her question if walking alone was still enough to keep her as healthy and strong as she had always believed. Mary didn't want to give up her beloved walks, but she was also beginning to recognize that her body was signaling that something more might be needed. She had always prided herself on maintaining her independence and staying active well into her golden years. The idea of not being able to walk with ease, or even worse, becoming dependent on others after a fall, was a frightening prospect. This moment marked the beginning of her journey to understand how small, thoughtful changes could help her preserve her independence and well-being for as long as possible. Mary's story is a powerful reminder that we all can take steps, literally and figuratively, to improve our health, especially as we age. It's often easy to overlook the changes our bodies undergo, particularly when we've relied on a single form of exercise for years. But Mary's experience shows that by listening to our bodies and making a few adjustments, we can make a big difference in our quality of life. For years, Mary had believed that walking was the ultimate exercise. It was easy, free, and something she could do without thinking too much. She didn't need to go to a gym or invest in expensive equipment. All she needed was her comfortable shoes and the open road. But after her near fall, she began paying closer attention to how her body was responding to these daily walks. Her knees felt stiffer and more painful after each outing, and climbing stairs had become more challenging. Her legs, once strong and resilient, didn't feel as powerful as they once had, and the slightest exertion left her winded. The very activity that had kept her going for so many years no longer seemed to be enough. With these thoughts on her mind, Mary brought up her concerns during her annual checkup with her doctor. She described her aches and pains, the growing fatigue, and her fear of losing her balance and falling. The doctor listened attentively, asking detailed questions about her daily routine and how she was feeling physically. Then, with a compassionate smile, the doctor offered some advice. Mary, the doctor began gently, walking is wonderful for maintaining health, but as we age, our bodies change, and it's important to adapt. Walking alone may not be enough to address the full range of changes that come with getting older. We need to take a more holistic approach to maintaining strength, balance, and flexibility. The doctor went on to explain some of the changes that occur as we age. Joint health begins to decline over time, and the cartilage that cushions our joints gradually wears down. This leads to pain and stiffness, especially after repetitive activities like walking on hard surfaces. Additionally, muscle mass naturally decreases as we age, starting in our 30s, and this process accelerates after age 60. With less muscle strength, it becomes harder to stay active and perform daily tasks. Lastly, balance issues become more prevalent as reflexes slow and muscles weaken, significantly increasing the risk of falls. Mary was surprised by this information. She had always thought of walking as the perfect exercise, the one that would keep her healthy and strong forever. But now she realized that while walking was certainly beneficial, it wasn't addressing some critical aspects of her health, like maintaining muscle strength, preserving joint health, and improving her balance, all of which were essential for her long-term independence. The doctor reassured her that walking didn't have to be given up. Walking is still a great exercise, the doctor said, but to maintain your strength, balance, and overall health, it's important to incorporate other activities into your routine. These can help you stay steady on your feet and active for many years to come. The doctor recommended 2 specific activities that could help Mary: chair yoga to improve her flexibility and balance, and strength training to rebuild and maintain her muscle mass and bone density. At first, Mary felt overwhelmed by the thought of trying new exercises. Yoga and strength training were completely unfamiliar to her, and she wasn't sure how to start. But the doctor's reassuring words and her desire to maintain her independence motivated her to give it a try. "What do I have to lose?" she thought. As it turned out, these 2 activities would completely transform how Mary felt, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Chair yoga not only improved her balance and flexibility, but also helped her connect with her body in new, mindful ways. Strength training, though initially challenging, gradually rebuilt her muscle mass, giving her more energy, more confidence, and a renewed sense of strength. With these small, thoughtful changes to her routine, Mary soon discovered that she felt stronger, steadier, and more capable than she had in years. What began as a concern over a simple walk had led her to a broader understanding of how staying active in later life requires a combination of activities that nurture the body as a whole. Mary's journey demonstrates that it's never too late to make positive changes that enhance our health and well-being. Through small, intentional steps, we can keep ourselves strong, healthy, and independent for as long as we wish. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Activity 1. Chair yoga. Mary's first step to flexibility and strength. When Mary first walked into her chair yoga class, she wasn't quite sure what to expect. For years, she had believed that yoga was something reserved for younger people, those with the flexibility to bend into contorted poses or hold challenging positions for long periods. In her mind, yoga was a practice that required a level of physical ability she thought she simply didn't possess. But as she stepped into the cozy community center room, she was pleasantly surprised to see a group of people her age, all comfortably seated in sturdy chairs, engaging in conversation and waiting for the class to begin. The instructor welcomed her with a warm smile, offering words of reassurance that put her at ease immediately. "Chair yoga is for everyone, Mary," she said. "You don't need to be flexible to start. You just need to show up with an open mind." Those simple words filled Mary with a sense of relief, as she realized that this would be a journey she could embark on without needing to meet any high expectations. The class started with calming breathing exercises, and Mary was surprised at how soothing it felt to focus solely on her breath. The instructor guided the group through a series of gentle stretches, such as reaching one arm overhead or twisting slightly to one side, using the chair for support. The movements were slow and deliberate, encouraging each participant to move within their range of comfort. Mary was amazed at how each movement, though simple, allowed her body to relax and release tension. By the end of the class, she not only felt physically lighter, but mentally clearer as well. That wasn't so bad, Mary thought. It felt really good. The benefits Mary experienced through chair yoga. As Mary continued to attend chair yoga sessions over the next few weeks, she began to notice subtle but significant changes in her body and mind. What started as a simple exercise routine gradually became a transformative part of her life. Here are some of the benefits Mary began to experience. 1. Improved flexibility. After just a few sessions, Mary was amazed at the improvements she noticed in her everyday activities. She could now reach higher shelves in her kitchen with ease, something that had once required a stretch and a lot of effort. Simple tasks, like turning to look behind her while driving, no longer caused discomfort or strain. Mary could feel her body becoming more agile and responsive, and the more she practiced, the more she was able to do with greater ease. Reduced joint pain. One of the most noticeable changes for Mary was a significant reduction in the stiffness and discomfort she'd often felt in her knees and hips. The gentle stretches of chair yoga helped to ease the tension in these joints, and she found herself waking up in the mornings without the usual aches and pains. Getting out of bed no longer felt like a struggle, as her joints had become more mobile, making every day a little bit easier. 3. Better posture. Mary's posture improved in ways she hadn't anticipated. The instructor frequently reminded the class to lengthen your spine, and over time, this subtle adjustment became second nature. Mary noticed that she was sitting and standing taller, with more awareness of her body's alignment. Her posture had not only improved physically but also gave her a sense of dignity and confidence in her daily movements. 4. Mental clarity and relaxation. Beyond the physical benefits, Mary was also experiencing a newfound sense of mental clarity and relaxation. The breathing exercises and slow, mindful movements helped to quiet her mind, bringing her into the present moment and offering a sense of calm she hadn't felt in years. Yoga became her sanctuary, a time for her to unwind, reflect, and focus on her well-being. It wasn't just about the stretches, it was about reclaiming peace and balance in her busy life. What chair yoga looks like. Chair yoga is exactly what it sounds like, yoga that's done while sitting in a chair or using the chair for support. It's an ideal practice for seniors or anyone with limited mobility, as it eliminates the need to get down on the floor or hold difficult poses. The beauty of chair yoga lies in its accessibility. Anyone can do it, regardless of age or fitness level. Here are a few examples of the exercises that Mary loved and felt the benefits from. Seated side stretch. While sitting tall in her chair, Mary would raise one arm overhead and gently lean to the side, feeling the stretch along her ribs and waist. This simple movement helped improve flexibility and release tension in her torso. Seated twist. Holding on to the side of her chair, Mary would slowly twist her torso to one side, helping to loosen up her back and improve spinal mobility. This stretch felt particularly soothing after a long day of sitting. Ankle rolls. While seated, Mary would lift one foot slightly off the ground and rotate her ankle in slow circles. This small but effective movement helped stimulate circulation in her legs and reduce stiffness, especially important for keeping her lower body healthy and mobile. Practical tips for starting chair yoga. Mary often found herself sharing her chair yoga experience with friends who were curious but unsure about trying it for themselves. Here's the advice she would offer to anyone thinking of giving it a go. Start small. You don't have to commit to long sessions right away. Even just 10 to 15 minutes a few times a week can make a noticeable difference. Mary discovered that consistency was more important than intensity, and every small effort added up over time. Find a class or video. While Mary enjoyed the social aspect of her class, she was quick to point out that there are also plenty of online videos available for those who prefer to practice at home. Whether in a group setting or on her own, the benefits of chair yoga were the same. Listen to your body. One of the greatest things about chair yoga is its adaptability. If a particular movement feels uncomfortable, it's okay to skip it or modify it to suit your needs. Yoga isn't about perfection. It's about finding what feels right for your body. Mary's next step: embracing strength training. After a few months of chair yoga, Mary began to feel like a new person. Her flexibility had improved, her balance was better, and she felt more confident in her ability to move freely. One day, while reaching for a jar on the top shelf, she was amazed to realize that she hadn't even thought about the strain on her knees or her back. It just felt natural. That's when she knew that yoga was working, and her body was becoming stronger and more capable. But Mary's journey didn't stop there. Her doctor had also recommended strength training as an important next step, and though she was initially nervous about trying it, she felt empowered and ready for the challenge. Chair yoga had been the first step toward reclaiming her health, and now she was excited to continue her journey with the confidence and strength to take on whatever came next. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Activity 2. Strength training. Building Mary's confidence and independence. After experiencing the remarkable benefits of chair yoga, which greatly improved her flexibility and balance, Mary felt a renewed sense of accomplishment and readiness. She was eager to take on the next step in her journey to better health: strength training. However, when her doctor first introduced the idea, she was uncertain and apprehensive. Strength training? Isn't that something only for bodybuilders? Mary asked, slightly skeptical. The doctor smiled warmly and reassured her. Not at all, Mary. Strength training can be incredibly simple and accessible. It can involve lifting light weights or using resistance bands. The key is building the strength in your muscles to help you stay strong, independent, and capable of performing your daily activities with ease. Mary, though hesitant, decided to give it a try. She began with a gentle approach, starting with a pair of 1-pound dumbbells and a resistance band recommended by her doctor. She set up a small, dedicated space in her living room, where she could comfortably focus on her exercises. Mary followed a beginner-friendly routine that was carefully designed to ease her into the process and ensure she wasn't overexerting herself. At first, it felt unfamiliar and a bit awkward. She hadn't lifted weights in years, not since her younger days when she was more active. However, she quickly came to realize how effective even the smallest, most controlled movements could be in building strength and improving her overall health. Mary's strength training routine. Mary's routine was tailored to address the specific muscles that she relied on most throughout her daily life, helping her regain confidence and independence. Below are a few of her favorite exercises that brought noticeable results. 1. Bicep curls. Sitting in a sturdy chair, Mary gripped a dumbbell in each hand, with her palms facing upward. Slowly, she curled the weights toward her shoulders, feeling her arm muscles engage, before gently lowering them back down. This movement targeted her biceps, helping her build strength in her arms, which proved invaluable for tasks like carrying groceries, lifting household items, and even reaching for objects on high shelves. 2. Chair squats. In front of a stable chair, Mary would lower herself into a squat, as if preparing to sit down, and then push herself back up to a standing position. This simple yet effective exercise strengthened her legs and core, enhancing her balance and stability. It made it easier for her to climb stairs, rise from a seated position, and move with greater confidence throughout the day. 3. Seated leg extensions. While sitting comfortably in a chair, Mary extended one leg straight out in front of her, holding it in place for a few seconds before slowly lowering it back down. This exercise focused on strengthening her quadriceps, the muscles responsible for stabilizing the knee. Improving knee strength helped prevent instability and reduced the risk of falls, giving Mary greater peace of mind when walking or standing for long periods. 4. Resistance band row. To work her back muscles and improve posture, Mary wrapped a resistance band around a sturdy object, such as a doorknob, and held the ends in her hands. With a firm grip, she pulled the band toward her body, mimicking the motion of rowing a boat. This exercise not only helped build strength in her upper back but also contributed to better posture and a stronger spine, making everyday activities like sitting or standing for long periods much more comfortable. The benefits Mary experienced. After just a few weeks of consistent practice, Mary began to notice subtle yet significant changes, not just in her body, but in her mental and emotional well-being. The combination of strength training and the sense of accomplishment that came with it helped Mary feel more empowered and capable in her daily life. Increased strength. Tasks that had once been physically challenging, such as carrying a laundry basket, lifting a heavy pot, or even moving furniture, became much easier for Mary. She found herself feeling stronger, more energized, and more confident in her ability to take on everyday chores without hesitation or strain. Improved balance and stability. The strengthening of her legs and core muscles made a noticeable difference in Mary's sense of balance. She is no longer worried about tripping, stumbling, or losing her footing while walking or standing. The added stability gave her the freedom to move more fluidly and gracefully, without the constant fear of falling. Increased energy levels. Mary was pleasantly surprised to discover that strength training had a positive impact on her energy levels. Rather than feeling sluggish or fatigued by the end of the day, she found herself with more stamina and a greater desire to stay active. Whether it was going for a walk, tackling housework, or enjoying time with friends, her energy levels were significantly higher, allowing her to fully embrace each day. Bone health and peace of mind. One of the most reassuring benefits Mary gained from her strength training routine was the improvement in her bone density. Her doctor had explained that strength training was an excellent way to prevent the loss of bone mass, which becomes more critical as we age. With each session, Mary knew she was actively helping protect her bones from the risk of fractures or osteoporosis. The thought of taking steps to safeguard her long-term health gave her a sense of peace and control over her well-being. As Mary continued her strength training journey, she not only grew physically stronger but also mentally and emotionally more resilient. By investing in her health and making strength training a regular part of her routine, Mary had unlocked a new level of independence and confidence that would serve her well in all aspects of her life. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Practical tips for starting strength training. Mary often found herself talking to friends who were curious about starting strength training but weren't sure where to begin. She would share her journey and offer these practical tips to help them take their first steps with confidence and success. Start light and build gradually. Mary always recommended starting with light weights, such as 1 or 2 pound dumbbells or a resistance band with low tension. The key was to focus on learning the correct form first, rather than trying to lift heavy weights from the start. Building strength is a gradual process, and it's important not to rush. Starting light allows you to develop good habits that will serve as a strong foundation for the future, preventing bad form that could lead to injury. Go slow and stay controlled. One of the most important pieces of advice Mary shared was to perform each movement slowly and with control. It's easy to rush through exercises, especially when you're eager to see results. However, moving too quickly can compromise your form and increase the risk of injury. Slow, deliberate movements not only help you target the muscles more effectively, but they also ensure that you're engaging the right muscles and performing each exercise correctly. It's better to go slow and steady than to rush and risk setbacks. Be consistent and stay committed. Mary emphasized the importance of consistency when starting strength training. She suggested aiming for 2 to 3 sessions per week, with at least 1 rest day in between. Strength training is most effective when it's done regularly, and progress comes from steady, consistent practice. It's not about overdoing it or pushing yourself too hard in the beginning. Instead, small, consistent efforts will lead to significant results over time. By maintaining a consistent routine, you'll give your body time to adapt and grow stronger. Listen to your body and adjust when necessary. Listening to your body is essential when starting strength training. Mary often told her friends that if something felt uncomfortable or painful, it was important to stop and adjust. Everyone's body is different, and certain exercises might need to be modified to accommodate individual needs or limitations. Strength training should challenge your muscles, but it should never cause pain. Adjusting exercises to suit your abilities and making modifications along the way ensures a safe and effective workout. Mary's transformation. After several months of consistent strength training, Mary experienced a remarkable transformation. She felt stronger and more energized, and everyday tasks that once felt like a challenge were now much easier. Carrying shopping bags no longer left her feeling fatigued, and she could climb stairs without holding on to the railing for support. The most rewarding change, however, was the way she felt when playing with her grandchildren. She could engage and play with them without feeling winded or drained. Her energy levels had significantly improved, and she found herself enjoying life more than she had in years. But the most significant change wasn't just physical, it was mental. Mary no longer felt as though her body was something to fight against. Strength training had shifted her mindset, empowering her to feel more confident, capable, and in control of her body. The process of building strength wasn't just transforming her muscles, it was transforming the way she saw herself. One sunny afternoon, while tending to her garden in the backyard, Mary found herself reflecting on how far she had come. As she knelt to plant flowers, she realized she hadn't given a second thought to her knees or balance in weeks. She moved easily, kneeling, standing, and walking with more grace and stability than she had in years. What had once been difficult now felt effortless, and the sense of accomplishment was overwhelming. "I never thought I'd feel this strong again," Mary said to herself, a smile spreading across her face as she continued to work in her garden. The physical strength she had gained through strength training had given her more than just a healthier body. It had given her a renewed sense of independence and confidence in herself. Mary knew that her journey wasn't just about lifting weights, It was about building a foundation for a healthier, more active future. With each session, she was laying the groundwork for a life full of vitality and strength, one that would continue to improve as she stayed committed to her training. She felt empowered, knowing that strength training wasn't just about her present. It was about ensuring her future remained active, independent, and full of possibility. So, what have you learned from Mary's journey today? Whether it's the importance of adapting your routine as your body changes, or how small adjustments like chair yoga and strength training can make a big difference in your strength and balance, I hope you feel inspired to take action in your own life. I'd love to hear from you. What is one thing you've learned from this video that you'll be bringing into your routine? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Together, let's continue growing stronger and healthier, one step at a time.